M. What other things did he say about you? Narendra. Once I said to him, the forms of God and things like that, which you see in your visions, are figments of your imagination. He had so much faith in my words that he went to the Divine Mother in the temple and told her what I had said to him. He asked her, "Are these hallucinations then?" Afterwards, he said to me, "Mother told me that all these are real." Perhaps you remember that he said to me, "When you sing, he who dwells here, touching his heart, like a snake, hisses as it were, and then, spreading his hood, quietly holds himself steady and listens to your music. He has no doubt said many things about me, but what have I realized?" M. Now you have put on the garb of Shiva. You cannot touch money. Do you remember the master's story? Narendra, please tell it to me. M. A Bohurupi disguised himself as Shiva and visited a house. Footnote: Bohurupi, a professional impersonator. Footnote ends. The master of the house wanted to give him a rupee, but he did not accept it. Then the mendicant went home, removed his disguise, came back to the gentleman, and asked for the rupee. "Why didn't you accept it before?" he was asked. He said, "I was impersonating Shiva, a Shonnashi. I couldn't touch money at that time." When Narendra heard the story, he laughed a long while. M. You have now put on the garb of a physician, as it were. You have become the guardian of these young men. Yours is the entire responsibility. You have to bring up the brothers of the monastery. Narendra, whatever spiritual disciplines we are practicing here are in obedience to the Master's command. But it is strange that Ram Babu criticizes us for our spiritual practices. He says, "We have seen him," meaning Sri Ramakrishna. What need have we of any such practice? M. Let people act according to their faith. Narendra, but the Master asked us to practice sadhana. Narendra was again telling M about the Master's love for him. Narendra, how many times he prayed to the Divine Mother for my sake. After my father's death, when I had no food at home, and my mother and sisters and brothers were starving too, the Master prayed to the Divine Mother to give me money. M. Yes, I know that. You once told me. Narendra. But I didn't get any money. The Master told me what the Divine Mother had said to him. He will get simple food and clothing. He will eat rice and dal. He loved me so much. But whenever an impure idea crept into my mind, he at once knew about it. While going around with Ananda, sometimes I found myself in the company of evil people. On those occasions, the Master could not eat any food from my hands. He could raise his hand only a little and could not bring it to his mouth. On one such occasion, while he was ill, he brought his hand very close to his mouth, but it did not go in. He said to me, "You are not yet ready." Now and then, I feel great skepticism. At Baburam's house, it seemed to me that nothing existed, as if there were no such thing as God. M. The Master used to say that he too had passed through that mood. Both M and Narendra remained silent. Then M said, "You are all indeed blessed. You think of the Master day and night." Narendra, but how little it is. We don't yet feel like giving up the body because we haven't realized God. It was night. Niranjan had just returned from Puri. The members of the mott and M greeted him with great joy. Niranjan was telling them his experiences. He was then about 25 years old. The evening worship was over. Some of the brothers were meditating, but many of them assembled in the big hall around Niranjan. They were talking. After 9 o'clock, Shoshi offered food to the deity. The members of the mott finished their supper, which consisted of homemade bread, a little vegetable, and a little hard molasses.